What movie did you start watching then said fuck this, I'm not finishing this? Every pornographic movie I ever started. About 75% of the movies that I start watching on Netflix. I envy people who have the ability to walk away from bad movies. I just gotta finish even when they're shit. Mean Girls 2. 50 Shades of Grey. I was out as soon as she walked into Christian's office and tripped over nothing. 'Cause, you know, she's just so quirky and clumsy. The Emoji Movie. It was almost a parody of every CGI kids movie. I was hoping for a feel-good goofy movie and saw Downsizing while browsing Hulu. After reading the description, I assumed it'd be something like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and went for it. It was nothing like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids frown. Years back, I used to love the no-effort parody movies like Epic Movie, Scary Movie, Superhero Movie, Meet the Spartans etc. until I watched Scary Movie 5. When 5 came out, I couldn't see it immediately at the time so I forgot about it and rented it years later. When watching it I realized none of the jokes were funny because they all relied on referencing and parodying the horror movies of that time which were no longer relevant. It was a slog and I turned it off and returned it halfway through. Last year's Cats. I lasted 30 minutes and then I immediately left the theater. Human faces on roaches creeped me the hell out, as did whatever else I saw in that time frame. The Robin Hood movie from a year or so back. The bad guys have machine gun crossbows. It's fucking bizarre. Edit, so this comment got a bit more attention than I was expecting. For anyone that hasn't seen it and is curious, the first scene has Robin Hood in the Crusades where the Crusaders wear modern gear and flak jackets and they hut around a bombed out city clearing houses with long bows half drawn at the shoulder like they're spec ops dudes, but they get pinned down by an automatic ballista that's basically a machine gun nest, but it's okay because they fire a flare arrow over it which calls in an airstrike from some nearby trebuchets. I didn't hate this as much as some of the people replying, but the whole thing was so goofy and stupid that I couldn't be bothered finishing it. Zombiesaurus. I love B-movies that are amusingly bad. Ghost Shark is a particular favorite, but Zombiesaurus, bought for $2 from my local Asda, was so bad I couldn't finish it. The Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly movie Holmes and Watson. Dragon Ball Evolution, a Serbian film. Going Overboard. Adam Sandler's first movie. It's amazing how it didn't end his career before it started. Hearts and Armor. Corrected, I have absolutely no excuse other than I paid $1 in the Blockbuster bin for it and needed to win the worst movie contest with a bunch of friends on Fantasy Movie Friday. I won. I still win with it. I still haven't watched all of it. Note to anyone who attempts to watch it, whenever the blonde heaves her bosoms, tosses her hair, and yells "Let me fight him," I'll fight him. Take a drink and you'll be dead before the end of the film, so you'll be out of your misery anyway. FYI, you don't know bad cinema until the bad guys have the evil henchmen in a sword and sorcery flick is wear a spangly rooster costume fight chicken style alongside the guy in a sequin top hat surrounded by knives and bow tie on top of an ape suit. Yup, folks, it's that bad. And I own it on VHS. Cats. Just don't. Don't waste your time. It's time you'll never get back. And you can be wasting your time on something more wasteful than watching that movie. The Mummy 3. I loved the Mummy series and Brendan Fraser is awesome, but my god, that was a hot pile of shit and the only movie I ever walked out of in a theater. This is the sort of public service announcement we need when we're quarantined. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. Huge fan of the books but couldn't make it half an hour into the movie. Literally walked out of the theater. The most recent Underworld movie, It was a lot more soap opera and general incoherence than anything, beyond saving. 50 Shades of Grey. Gigli. I thought it might be comically bad, but no, it's just the moldy cardboard of movies. Made it through about 35 minutes before I realized that I was actively thinking about other things and tuning it out. So I turned it off. Aragon the movie, Nuff said. Zoolander 2. Inside. It's a Spanish slasher film about this woman who wants to steal a pregnant widow's fetus. I've watched so many gorefest movies to boot, and for some reason this one just totally took it to the next level for me and I couldn't handle it. I actually got quite close to the end and I just couldn't finish it. Edit, it's French, not Spanish. Thanks to those who pointed this out. Smile. Into the Looking Glass. I'm normally a huge fan of Tim Burton's work, but I have legitimately sat down snacks, full intent on watching it, 3 times now and I just can't get into it. Edit, I know he didn't direct this one, but we all know whenever has involved his style gets very heavily incorporated. I just wish the My List and Continue Watching sections actually appeared consistently. They go AWOL all the time, lost in the myriad weirdly specific genres Netflix has decided to make up that day. My mom recorded Tyler Perry's A Madea Family Funeral the other day because that's just how bored she is. She doesn't even like Madea. I sat through the first 5 minutes before I couldn't take any more. A while later she finished it and told me, "Yep. Madea still sucks." Jurassic Shark. Got a Shark Movies DVD box as a joke birthday gift from my BF. Made her watch it all with me. Got through all of them, but Jurassic Shark was next level bad. Fun evening though. Edit, BF best friend. Sorry for the confusion guys. English is confusing. A Ghost Story got to the bit where she just sat on the floor for a good 5 minutes eating pie and couldn't take it anymore. Oz the Great and Powerful. Went to see it in theaters with a friend. I thought the commercials for it made it look so cool. I tried to like it, but it was just so bad. We ended up leaving maybe halfway through. The Room. #X200B, I've tried twice. It's terrible, so much that I can't watch it. Star Wars The Force Awakens. I just watched A New Hope the other day, and I don't want to watch a carbon copy of it. The Irishman. I can't believe people like this movie. It's so long and boring. I have like 20 minutes left and am never watching them. Death Note live action made by Netflix. More than half the garbage Netflix is putting out. The Transformer movie with Mark Wahlberg. It was so long and boring I fell asleep where I thought was halfway through. I woke up and checked to see how much was left, another 2.5 ducking hours. Fell asleep again. Woke up to still another hour and a half left and it was still boring as hell. The Golden Compass. I think I've never done this, at least I can't remember, but if I had to say one movie I would say The Shape of Water. It was so cliché and predictable. I would not watch it again. Aquaman. Suicide Squad. Holy hell. The Nightmare, 2015 https://n.wikipedia.org Wiki. The Nightmare 2015 American film, a documentary about sleep paralysis that illustrates its points with horror imagery. Really cool idea and well made, and maybe I'll give it another try, but I noped the duck out when it got really, scary. It's cheating, I know, but before spending time with a movie, I check at least its IMDb score. Genre 6.0 would be a basic minimum, assuming voting has settled, and 6.4 usually a good quality marker. It's worth noting that some howlers have started out with scores skewed north. Checking the genre enables me to filter horror, life's too short. Although I like to see reviews, I generally wait until after I've seen the movie, just to compare notes. There may be one or two other factors to sway me one way or another. Cast is one, and for example a blanket policy of avoiding anything listing James Corden has worked well so far. This way I have managed to avoid even starting turkeys like Sausage Party, The Emoji Movie, Cats. Mortal Engines looked okay in the trailer, but it turned out really bad and I really didn't care enough for the predictable story to continue halfway through.